Chapter 1. Introduction. We're in 2026, and a surprising number of people still believe their Wi-Fi can't be compromised. It can. But some of the older techniques? Completely obsolete. This guide breaks down what's still effective, what's been mitigated, and how attackers adjust their approach. Before getting into the technical details, one important point. Wireless security has advanced significantly, but so have the methods used to circumvent it. Researchers and attackers have been locked in a continuous cycle of adaptation. Techniques that worked a few years ago are now entirely ineffective, while others remain surprisingly reliable. And naturally, new approaches keep emerging as defenses evolve. This material is provided exclusively for educational purposes. Applying these techniques without proper authorization carries legal consequences. With that established, let's examine how Wi-Fi security has progressed. Chapter 2. Understanding Wi-Fi security. Evolution. First, it's essential to distinguish between WEP, WPA2, and WPA3. WEP is outdated and effectively useless negligible security that offers no real protection. WPA2 served as the industry standard for years, but has documented weaknesses, particularly relating to offline brute force attacks and deauthentication-based methods. WPA3 was developed to address these shortcomings, but deployment has been gradual. A significant number of devices and access points still lack WPA3 support, leaving WPA2 as the dominant protocol in active use. This matters because although WPA3 introduces protections through simultaneous authentication of equals, SAE, the vast majority of deployed networks remain susceptible to established attack patterns. Chapter 3. Essential tools for Wi-Fi testing. Proper equipment is necessary before proceeding. You need a wireless adapter capable of monitor mode and packet injection. Integrated laptop Wi-Fi modules generally lack these capabilities. An Alpha AWS 03 ACH or equivalent external adapter is required. Next, a Linux-based distribution such as Kali Linux or Parrot OS is recommended. These ship with the relevant tooling pre-configured. Required software includes aircrack-ng, MDK4, BetterCap, and Hashcat. To verify monitor mode support, execute audio, uconfig. If the output shows monitor mode, the adapter is suitable. If not, a different adapter is needed. Chapter 4. How Wi-Fi attacks work. Understanding attack mechanics is important. Deauthentication attacks function by disconnecting a client from the network, compelling it to re-authenticate and expose the handshake in the process. This remains effective against WPA2. WPA3 includes countermeasures. Monitor mode allows full traffic capture without associating to the target network, which is critical for collecting handshakes or conducting packet inspection. WPA2 authentication uses a four-way handshake to protect credentials. Capturing this handshake enables offline cracking attempts. The evil twin method involves deploying a rogue access point that mimics a legitimate network. When clients connect, they unwittingly disclose their credentials. Modern devices are configured to auto-connect to previously used SSIDs, which attackers exploit by cloning trusted network names. Chapter 5. The changing security landscape. The core issue extends beyond outdated encryption protocols. The problem is organizational mindset. Companies patch vulnerabilities they detect and overlook those they don't fully comprehend. That blind spot is where risk accumulates. The most impactful exploits are not always sophisticated 0 days. Sometimes the simplest configuration gaps lead to total compromise. The kind of oversights that, once understood, fundamentally change how you assess security. Chapter 6. WPA2 Handshake. Capture tutorial. Starting with the standard approach. Capturing and cracking WPA2 handshakes. First, enable monitor mode. Airmon ng start. WLAN 0. Then scan for available networks. Aerodump ng WLAN Aeromon. After identifying the target, narrow the capture. Aerodump NGC channel BSSID W capture LAN N0 Mon. To force client reconnection and capture the handshake, use MDK4 WLAN-0 D. E. Target SSID. C. Channel. Once the handshake is obtained, cracking can proceed via dictionary attack. Aircrack-ng, WW, word list, B, BSSID, capture, Z01.cap or through GPU accelerated cracking with hashcat. Chapter 7. Evil Twin Attack Method. When the target passphrase is strong enough to resist dictionary or brute force attempts, the approach shifts to credential harvesting. Instead of cracking the key, the attacker tricks the user into supplying it. Deploy a rogue AP, Airbase NG, E, free Wi-Fi, C6 WLN at Irman. Any client scanning for that SSID may connect automatically. Then direct victims to a phishing portal using BetterCap or a custom captive page. When the user enters their actual Wi-Fi passphrase, it is captured in plain text. This method is particularly effective in public spaces where users routinely connect to open networks without verification. Chapter 8. What's been patched? If you are still attempting to crack WPA3 using traditional handshake capture methods, stop. Simultaneous Authentication of Equals, SAE, removes the conventional handshake vulnerability, rendering brute force approaches computationally impractical. Randomized MAC addresses on newer clients also complicate device tracking and targeting. Many current routers include native protection against deauthentication floods, reducing their practical impact. Investing effort in deprecated techniques yields no results. Chapter 9. Modern Attack Methods. So how do real attackers continue to compromise Wi-Fi networks? They pivot. Rather than depending on encryption cracking, they leverage social engineering and credential phishing. A significant number of users still enter credentials on unverified login pages or reuse weak passwords across services. Rogue APs paired with phishing portals consistently outperform direct WPA3 cracking attempts. If you can convince someone to type their password into your interface, there is no need to break encryption at all. Chapter 10. Conclusion. To summarize, several Wi-Fi attack methods remain viable in 2026, while others have been effectively patched. Classic WPA2 handshake cracking still works against weak passphrases. WPA3 offers strong resistance to brute force attacks. Evil twin deployments and social engineering routes remain consistently effective regardless of the underlying encryption standard. The takeaway is straightforward. Security strength is determined by its most vulnerable component, and that component is typically human behavior.